Hello, buddies, friends, lovers, and such in YouTube land. I keep promising that I'm going to read off my book of quotes, which I finally found. I'll start from the beginning. That was a bad trip. I don't want to remember it at all. Quoted for a vacation in New Jersey, February 2009, Gautam Munro. This was just a joke because we were playing around with using regular cards instead of tarot cards. I pulled an ace, jack, queen, and king, and my reply to that to AJ, Q, and K, I can't spell anything with these cards. Let's see, I just got to look through because there's a lot of other notes in this book. Okay, here's one I wrote. The government has failed us, we as the people. We must take back control of the land and our lives. Some grassroots have to have some money to help save the earth. They declared war on us and the environment. Their defense is down. People are opening their eyes. Let's pounce on them and become the people's heroes. Here's another one I wrote. I remember things that last, things mundane and spiritual, not people, places, or time, things that may slip into obscurity. Another one I wrote. Vote for me. I shall skim the cream and filter the crud. 2% gone, 98% reclaimed. I base that on if you get rid of the top and bottom 1% of the world that doesn't want to do nothing, that just constantly wants handouts and get rich and never work. Get rid of the top 1% and the bottom 1% and we'll get back 98% of our lives. This one I wrote in reply to quitting smoking. It's not the one now, but the myriads of those that have been had, and the many more yet to come if I do not stop now. Quoted Gautam Munro. And this one we were talking about the poor cable service and being overcharged, and we combined that with 420, but we were going to call it 420 Cable Turnoff Day Conspiracy. Nothing is truly free. They all have strings attached. Some thin as threads, others thick as ropes, but either way they're nooses around our necks. Gautam Munro. This one should appear familiar to all of you. This actually wasn't written by me, but I saw it in one of the Stargate episodes, and it goes way back, I believe, to Hindu or Tibetan philosophy, where I read it years ago. The only way to win is deny it battle. The governments and corporations are not only destroying the land, but the people which make it so. The old PETA that cared for animals has died. If it wasn't for greed, we wouldn't have inflation. This is another thing. It's another ancient one. I recently seen it on Futurama on an episode where Benders has a world living in outer space. But I always love the quote, and it says, when you do things right, people won't be sure you did anything at all. Mayate Gautam Munro. Nothing is truly free. They all have strings attached, some thin as silk threads and some thick as anchor chains, revised by Gautam Munro. Buying a car with a clean engine is like the raped woman scrubbing away the evidence. Quoted by me and my dad, Mayate Gautam Munro. Oh, this is another one of our conspiracy theories. Death penalty zombie theory. Secret assassination squad. Based from the book and the movie, which I both saw and are wonderful if you haven't seen it. It's The Serpent and the Rainbow. That I gotta finish. Next quote. if we cannot breathe, if our water becomes undrinkable, if we poison our food supply, if we destroy our ball of rock, would democracy survive? Hell no. Would socialism continue? Hell no. Would commercialism survive? Hell no. Would Christianity survive? Hell no, I think not. So why then are we killing ourselves? The word is the law. Me'ata Thoth Amun Ra. This is an old one I remember from Boy Scout camp way back in 1986 when I worked there. And it was called PACE, P-A-C-E. Positive attitudes change everything. And yes, they do, people. Sometimes there is so much shit around you, you miss the gold line next to you. Veka Sol Kinar. We'll get back to that at another date when I teach how to write a language of desire. Me'ate Thoth Amun Ra. This one's just a short one because some people pissed me off by reacting and not thinking. But I just wrote, slow down and think. Amun Ra. Skriftaguvi Noe, derived from positive attitudes change everything. Me'ate is wisdom, the thought of Thoth Amun Ra. It's time to call it quits and get the hell out of here. Keep moving forward and put this place in the far distance. Veka Sol Kunar, Me'ate Thoth Amun Ra. Quote on wanting to leave this area to put behind all that has happened. Another one that was on my bathroom wall you might have seen. Pen up our food animals and pen us up too in work cubicles. And no wonder people are so fat and obese. And here's a chant I wrote when I was drumming years ago with my friend Kedra when she was a roommate. But it went, nicotine I banish thee, THC come to me, marijuana's ecstasy. And like I said, that was a drum chant to quit smoking by Amun Ra, my buddy Kedra. This one's in reply to the oil industry and my opinion of oil, natural gas, and coal. What has taken billions of years, we as man fracked up in less than 100. How is it we release the phlegm and pus of the earth in a fraction of its creator's processing time, then wonder what is wrong? And burying it in the vacuum created by the above is not the answer. Burying it's referring to burying CO2 deposits underground. So that way the next earthquake, like the one that unfortunately just hit Japan, could let out millions of tons of CO2 all at once and choke entire cities, like happened to Vesuvius and other volcanoes when they erupted. And the reference of phlegm and pus of the earth is that the earth buried this crap, this oil, natural gas, and coal in it, so that way it could take billions or hundreds of billions of years to process it, and we release it in less than 100 years, which is many orders of magnitude difference. And in nature, when you change anything in order of magnitude, which is a difference of tenfold or 1/10-fold, you're already looking for problems, and we changed it near 5 or 10 orders of magnitude and wonder what's wrong. And this was a quote to the cigarette industry. If you invent a cancer-free cigarette, you shall be a trillionaire. And this is another one from the bathroom wall. The world is filled with gloom and disdoom, but somewhere in the chaos there is a beauty, and it is this beauty we all must seek. Many paths lead to thee, but many do deceive. It is a question as how do you get there? Thoth inform me, Isis guide me, Ra grant me wisdom, Thoth Amun Ra. And this is for any enemies that need quick retribution or karmic back upon their soul. Basically, all it says, if you lied to us, Sekhmet is coming for us. Sekhmet was Ra's goddess that he always sent down to punish mankind when they did wrong against the gods and against the world. And this one is one I expounded on the, I don't even call it, not the Wiccan Reed, but something like that. In perfect love and perfect trust, into ye I shove my greatest lust. Me'ate Thoth Amun Ra, thy word is the law. And this is one I wrote one day when I felt like I no longer wanted to keep going on with this existence many years ago. But all it says is Elysian Fields, Here I Come, which is one of the Egyptian versions of heaven. And that's it for now, because this tape is getting kind of long, and I know the next 20 pages or so is some game idea I was writing for a video game. Thank you much for watching, people. Peace out, and you'll have a wonderful, terrific, fun-filled, exciting day. Peace.